the billionaire's German Shepherd was known as the most dangerous dog in the city, trained for security, feared by everyone. "I'll give $1 million, the billionaire said before a crowd, to anyone who can calm him." One by one, brave men tried and failed. The dog lunged, snarled, nearly broke free each time. "See," the billionaire smirked. "No one can tame him." Then, from the edge of the crowd, a small homeless girl stepped forward. Her clothes were torn, her shoes worn thin. "Can I try?" she whispered. Laughter rippled through the audience, but the billionaire, amused, nodded. The girl knelt slowly, meeting the dog's eyes. What happened next silenced the entire room and made even the billionaire's cold heart tremble. "Stay till the end. This one will move you to tears." Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The ballroom glittered with chandeliers and expensive suits. Cameras flashed as billionaires mingled, sipping champagne and showing off their wealth. But all eyes were on one man, Richard Hale, the ruthless billionaire, known for his fortune and his temper. Standing beside him was Titan, his massive German Shepherd, trained for protection and feared by everyone who came too close. That night, Titan growled at a cameraman who accidentally brushed too near. The man stumbled back in terror, and the crowd laughed nervously. Richard smirked. "He's loyal," he said coldly. "But no one can control him except me." A trainer nearby scoffed. "Every dog can be trained, sir." Richard's smile vanished. "Prove it," he said. "Calm him down and I'll pay you $1 million. The trainer approached, but Titan lunged, teeth bared, snarling like a storm unleashed. The man stumbled away as gas filled the room. Richard turned to the crowd, his voice echoing. "Anyone else?" One by one, brave volunteers tried and failed. Titan's fury only grew. Richard chuckled. "As I said, no one can." Then, from the back of the room, a soft, trembling voice spoke up. "I can try." The crowd turned. Standing there was a little girl, barefoot, shivering, and holding a torn stuffed toy. The crowd erupted in laughter. A child in a room full of millionaires and bodyguards. The sight was almost absurd. The girl, no older than 9, stood at the edge of the marble floor, her hair tangled, her jeans torn at the knees, clutching a faded stuffed bunny. But her eyes, they were calm, steady, and locked on the growling beast before her. "Where are your parents?" someone asked. She didn't answer. Her voice trembled, but her words were clear. "I can calm him." Richard raised an eyebrow. "This isn't a playground," he said sharply. "That dog could kill you." But the girl didn't flinch. "He's not bad," she whispered. "He's just scared." A murmur spread through the crowd. Even the guards hesitated. Richard smirked. "Fine," he said. "Let's see what your magic can do." The crowd backed away as the girl stepped forward. Titan's growls rumbled, deep and dangerous. His eyes glinted, teeth bared, every muscle ready to strike. But she didn't run. She crouched low, slowly extending her tiny hand. "It's okay, boy," she whispered, her voice trembling yet soft. "No one's going to hurt you." Titan froze. The growl faded. His tail twitched once, then lowered. The girl smiled gently. "See, you're just lonely." And for the first time, Titan, feared by all, lowered his head and pressed it into her small palm. The room went completely still. You could hear a pin drop as Titan, the same dog who had terrified grown men, now sat quietly beside a barefoot little girl. Cameras clicked softly, but no one dared to move too fast, afraid to break the impossible. Calm Lily, as the crowd later learned, her name, stroked Titan's fur gently. "You're not angry, are you?" she whispered. "You're just tired of being yelled at." Titan let out a low, almost human sigh and lay down beside her. Gasps filled the hall. A few people clapped hesitantly. The billionaire's confident smirk had completely vanished. "How?" Richard stammered, his voice cracking. "How did you do that?" Lily looked up at him, her tone calm and innocent. "He just needed someone to talk to him kindly." Richard blinked, speechless. "He's attacked everyone who's ever tried to get close." The girl tilted her head. "That's because everyone shouted. Nobody listened." Titan licked her hand softly, earning a wave of teary smiles from the onlookers. "Even Richard's security guard muttered, "I've never seen him like that." The billionaire's chest tightened. For years power and control had been his language. Yet here, in front of hundreds, a homeless child had tamed what he couldn't with nothing but kindness. He stepped closer, his voice trembling. You've won $1 million like I promised." But Lily shook her head. "I don't want your money," she said quietly. "Just be kind to him." The hall emptied slowly that night, but Richard Hale stood frozen in place long after everyone left. Titan sat quietly at his feet, calm and silent for the first time in years. The little girl's words replayed in his mind over and over. "He's not angry. He's just tired of being yelled at." Later, in the solitude of his mansion, Richard poured himself a drink and stared at the crackling fireplace. Titan rested beside him, no longer restless, just watching. For the first time, Richard noticed something familiar in the dog's eyes. Pain. The same pain he'd carried since childhood. He remembered being a poor, abandoned boy, yelled at more times than he could count. He had built an empire out of anger, teaching himself never to be weak, never to trust, never to love. Titan had only become a reflection of him. Obedient, loyal, but broken inside. When Richard closed his eyes, he saw Lily's face again. Those clear, fearless eyes that had looked straight into the heart of a beast and seen something worth saving. The next morning he sent his team to find her, but no one could. The girl had vanished as mysteriously Ash appeared. All she left behind was a small, worn, stuffed bunny lying near the stage. Days turned into weeks, and Richard couldn't shake the thought of her, the little girl who had tamed his monster with nothing but kindness. He sent his staff across the city, posting flyers, hiring private investigators, even offering a reward. But no one had seen her. It was as if she'd vanished into thin air. One night, as Titan slept peacefully by the fire, Richard sat in his study, scrolling through the news. That's when he saw it, an article about a group of homeless children living near the train station. He visited the next morning, handing out food and blankets, hoping to find her face among them. But she wasn't there. Still, something in him changed that day. The smell of the cold air, the sound of children laughing, despite hunger. It all reminded him of the world he turned his back on. A week later, he made a decision. He founded the Lily Foundation, dedicated to helping homeless children and abandoned animals, those who had no one to protect them. When reporters asked him why, he simply smiled and said, "Because one little girl taught me what true strength looks like." That night, Titan rested, his head on Richard's lap, finally at peace. Months later, Richard stood on stage at a grand charity gala, surrounded by flashing lights and applause. Behind him hung a massive banner that read, "The Lily Foundation, because kindness changes everything." Titan sat proudly at his side, calm and majestic, no longer feared, but adored. Richard adjusted the microphone, his voice softer than anyone had ever heard it. "A little girl once showed me that compassion is worth more than $1 million, he said. Tonight, we celebrate her spirit and the lives she's changed." The crowd erupted in applause. But then from the very back of the hall, a small voice called out, "You kept your promise." Richard froze. The room turned silent. Through the crowd stepped a young girl in a clean dress, clutching a new stuffed bunny. Titan's ears perked up with a joyous bark. He bounded off the stage and ran straight to her, tail wagging wildly. Tears filled Richard's eyes as he knelt before her. "You're safe," he whispered. "You found a home." Lily smiled, her hand resting on Titan's head. "We both did." The cameras captured that moment. The billionaire, the girl, and the once feared dog, united by kindness. As the lights dimmed, Richard's voice echoed softly. "Money can buy power, but only love can tame a